In a world where the societal portrayal of reality was in stark contrast to his personal experiences, there lived a boy named King. From his earliest memories, King felt an unsettling friction between his understanding of the world and the way it was represented to him. His television screen, a supposed window to the world, showed him soldiers not as noble defenders of peace, but as disposable pieces in a power-hungry game of chess. He felt the same system of manipulation at play each evening when he watched the news, a relentless stream of economic inequity and social injustice. He perceived this same system's echo in the weary gaze of the homeless man he passed on his way to school, the sugar-coated narratives in his textbooks and the silent desperation of his teacher, who despite her tireless efforts struggled to make ends meet. The fear that palpably resonated from sensational news stories and the profound loneliness he sensed in school playgrounds and crowded hallways stirred in him a deep-seated sense of dread. Born into a religious household, King found little comfort in religious doctrines or the idea of a divine entity. His heart ached at the sight of starving children on charity commercials, and he found himself questioning the purpose of praying to a God who seemingly turned a blind eye to such suffering. He saw religions as hypocritical institutions that on one hand preached love and compassion and on the other judged and criticized differing faiths. His feeling of solitude only intensified as he disentangled himself from the shackles of politics, religion, and societal norms. As he matured, his cynicism deepened, only adding to his feelings of isolation. The world around him appeared to be filled with people making and breaking promises without a second thought. He saw this in the faces of his neighbors, his friends' parents, and even in the betrayal his friend Sam endured over a trivial disagreement. Truth seemed like a disappearing commodity, hidden behind layers of emotional manipulation and responsibility. King's loneliness became more profound as he observed this world, a world he viewed not as a place of wisdom, but a playground of ignorance. As King's perception of the world grew more desolate, he felt tormented by unseen forces of deception that the world presented as spiritual realities. He encountered such illusions in horoscopes that inaccurately predicted his day, and in the vague prophecies of psychics. Yet he saw through these mirages, recognizing them as attempts to misguide him. Despite the discouragement from those closest to him, King remained unwavering on his solitary quest for truth. As he stumbled upon the bitter realization that no one truly understood his yearning for authenticity, his feelings of isolation intensified. Weight of his loneliness and suffering was a burden he carried alone, his secret cross to bear. Undeterred by the attempts of humans and demons alike, King's thirst for pure understanding grew insurmountable. The path towards enlightenment was a treacherous one, paved with trials and tribulations. Like a moth drawn to a flame, King was relentlessly attracted to the pursuit of truth, navigating through the labyrinth of deceit and illusion that shrouded our world. Every challenge he faced, every setback he overcame was a stepping stone on his journey, a testament to his unyielding resilience. He confronted the demons that haunted his mind, those that whispered sweet nothings disguised as wisdom. He faced them bravely, not with fear or dread, but with the courage of a warrior, the wisdom of a sage. His loneliness, once a crippling burden, became his companion. It was in the depths of solitude that King found a profound sense of self, a clarity that eluded most. He discovered that true strength lies not in the company of others, but within oneself. He learned that the most profound truths are often found in the most unlikely places, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by those who dare to look beyond the surface. As King grew older, his quest for enlightenment intensified. His 26th birthday marked a significant milestone in his journey. It was on this day that a profound transformation occurred. A divine spark ignited within him, a beacon of light in the dark abyss of his mind. It was a moment of transcendence, of liberation, of awakening. His heart thumped with newfound vigor, pulsating against the rhythm of the universe, his body filled with warmth and fire, a manifestation of the divine energy that now coursed through his veins. This was not an external force, but rather an inner awakening, a realization of the divine within. King's perception extended beyond the confines of our physical reality. He saw the world not as it appeared to be, but as it truly was, a dream within a dream, a play of shadows and light. He understood that the truth he had been seeking was not out there, but within him. He was no longer a mere spectator, but an active participant in the grand cosmic play. His suffering, his loneliness, his quest for truth, all culminated in this moment of awakening. The boy who had become a man now transcended his human identity to embody his true, uncreated divine self. King's mind opened wide. In this awakened state, King's perception extended beyond the confines of the dream world. His vision pierced through the veils of illusion, and he saw the universe as it truly was for the first time. He was not just a spectator in this cosmic theater, but an essential piece in the grand puzzle of existence. King beheld the hidden lies of the universe from its inception. He saw how deception had woven itself into the very fabric of creation, how betrayal had become as pervasive as the air we breathe. His heart ached at the sight of this universal treachery, but within this pain he found the strength to accept this harsh reality. In this moment of profound understanding, King realized that the God responsible for this universe was not a benevolent deity, but a flawed creator. The creator, just like its creation, was a victim of its own imperfections. It was a sobering revelation, one that rang with an unsettling truth. Yet King embraced this truth, for he knew that only through acceptance could he find liberation. King decided to renounce all worldly manifestations. He saw them as nothing more than illusions, mere distractions from the ultimate truth. He shed the layers of his human identity, each one revealing a deeper layer of his divine essence. The boy who was born in a world of deceit and treachery was no more. In his place stood a man, a being of pure consciousness, untainted by worldly desires or fears. This transformation marked the beginning of King's journey into his true, uncreated divine self. He was no longer a mere mortal bound by the limitations of time and space. He was a being of pure energy, a spark of divine light in the vast darkness of the universe. His journey had led him to this profound realization, but it was far from over. He knew that he had to confront the flawed creator, to challenge the very foundations of this deceptive universe. The boy who had become a man shed his human identity to embody his true, uncreated divine self. No longer confined by the limitations of matter and time, King evolved into a god beyond creation itself. He ventured into the immeasurable expanse, the vast darkness that cloaked the universe, an all-encompassing void yet teeming with an energy that pulsed in sync with his newly awakened consciousness. It was a realm untouched by the hands of creation, pure and unadulterated. As he journeyed deeper, King stripped away the layers of his human desires, the primal instincts that had once bound him to the mortal world. Each layer shed was a chain broken, a tether released. His heart frozen cold in his final transmutation, now untamed by the constraints of time, his spirit soaring in the freedom of the uncreated cosmos. A solemn oath echoed through the darkness. King vowed to confront the God responsible for the suffering he had witnessed, the creator of the flawed universe. His journey, once a solitary quest for truth, was now a divine mission. His journey would culminate in an epic battle that would transcend the realms of reality.